All right, thanks for joining us here on RT International. The spectre of terrorism again looms large in France after a machete-wielding man shouting Allah Akbar tried to force his way into the Louvre Museum in Paris. He managed to wound a soldier before being shot and injured himself. However, despite the clear terror danger to Europe, some politicians are focusing on other perceived threats instead. RT correspondent Charlotte Dubensky reports.
Terror has once again come knocking on the door of Paris. This time, though, another tragedy was thankfully avoided. A man wielding a machete targeted a group of soldiers at the city's most visited attraction, the Louvre. He ran at them screaming, "God is great," in Arabic, managing to strike two soldiers before one opened fire and injured him. But while France was under attack, the country's president was busy talking up the strength of his nation.
We in France have a defence policy. We fear nothing.
His message came just as France and much of Europe had seemed to be shifting focus, moving away from the threat of terror to a whole new enemy, Trump's America.
Those who want to forge bilateral ties with the US are of course well understood by the public, but they must understand that there is no future with Trump if it's not a common position.
You seem more united on Trump than you are on Russia, so who would you see as the bigger threat?
The only real threat is if we wouldn't be united enough towards challenges. It can change into a real threat if we are not united enough, if we are not courageous enough, that we are united enough to respond properly for these challenges.
And it seems that rhetoric had certainly been striking a chord, at least before this latest attack. People we spoke to back then did indeed think one of Europe's oldest allies had now become a threat.
I think it's the United States.
Donald Trump.
Because you don't know how he wants to manage his politics.
Probably Russia. There. Well, maybe the US right now, since Trump.
Since Trump, right. Oh, he definitely is a threat.
Now that Donald Trump is in charge, maybe it could be a big threat.
Strong opinions just days ago in Paris, but now given this latest threat near the Louvre in the city centre, are people still seeing America as being as big a threat to Europe as terrorism? We've been out onto the streets of the French capital to find out.
It's too complicated to be able to equate, I think, those two parts.
I don't think America's a threat.
Me being an American, I am proud of my country, and so I would assume that we will be not as threatening to Europe, which we have a lot of allies with.
President Trump is doing what he was elected to do, and quite rightly so. And he needs to stop troubles developing in the United States. What the European leaders are doing are closing the stable door after the horse has bolted. This is the problem. For ages they were talking about more people coming in. Oh, we must have more refugees. Oh, we must have people coming into Europe. Well, no, we should not. We should limit who's coming in. A lot of this meeting they're having in Malta is all about saving their own faces because they are guilty of letting so many people in, among whom are terrorists. And that is a problem for the people of these various countries of Europe, and they are very angry with their government.